Dunlop National Rally Championship. Hello and welcome once again to On the Limit Sports, where this week we come to you from Waterford City, which played host to this year's Ravens Rock Rally, and leading away the field of 120 crews was last year's winner of the event, James Stafford.
Competition this year now is going to be a lot stiffer, definitely a lot stiffer, because you have like Declan Boyle and Niall Maguire, all those fellas, and you know they're going to be pushing hard, and I'd say like to stay in front of them fellas this weekend now, I'd say is not going to be possible, I'd say.
Hopefully we get a good run tomorrow. The weather's dry. Hopefully it'll stay like that. And looking to get a good run. Maybe hopefully stay ahead of Niall.
I've Declan in front of me and I've James behind me, so I'm like the sandwich here.
We're going to have a go. We want to come up high. We've had a fourth or third, so we only want to be going one way from there.
Making his debut on Irish roads was James' son Ellis, who was contesting the historical class in his escort.
So Ellis, James Belton, your father, is in front of you on the roads. He'll be making tracks, your first time on the Irish stages.
Yeah, that's right, my first time. Hoping for a good run. Just need to get through it cleanly and get some experience in. Hopefully it'll all go okay.
By contrast, clubman Owen Doyle had plenty of experience on the Irish stages.
Well, Owen, has been from the Carrick-and-Shear Motor Club, I'm sure there are plenty of faces that you recognise around here, and you'll be recognising them on the side of the ditches tomorrow too.
Yeah, it's great. Your local event, and the weather is good, and the stages are dry, and hope we'll do our best. Hopefully have a good clean run anyway.
They've really pulled out all the stops for this event, and even with the crowds here, it just shows what interest there is in Waterford City for rallying.
Yeah, it's great. I think Billy Collins and his team and all the club, they've put in a great effort for this event. They're working hard there for the last 4 or 5 months, and it's a credit to them. It's great. So it can only be good for the sport, you know.
Another local hero out to thrill the fans was Paul Mulcahy.
Paul, fantastic to see you back out in the Starlet. You're looking forward to this event?
Looking forward now to a good spin tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be good and dry, and we'll give her a good spin. Hopefully they'll all stay together.
Local stages for you, of course, as well.
They're not too far away from home place, so wouldn't know them that well now, but sure, the same for everyone now. We'll have a good cut now with a good rookie day on today, so hopefully everyone will go fine tomorrow.
So through the efforts of Carrick-and-Shear Motor Club, Waterford City Council, Port and Chamber of Commerce, the fans in Waterford City were really treated to a fine spectacle at the ceremonial start, with the good weather playing its part too. There was a sunny start again on the morning of the rally, which had its base at Dooley's Hotel with the service area along the Waterford Quays.
So the buzz and excitement of last night's ceremonial start has now turned into nerves and tension as the drivers have made their final preparations and are on the way out to tackle stage 1 of the day. Scoring points today will be crucial.
First to tackle the opening loop of 3 stages was Wexford's James Stafford in the Darien T90. Winner of the event last year, James showed good pace again to hold his own with the WRC machines. And despite choosing the wrong tyres, he lay in 3rd place after the opening loop. A malfunctioning intercom system on the opening stage put Donegal cousins Declan and Brian Boyle on the back foot. But a concerted effort over the next two saw them climb up from third place to take a 2-second overall lead. Niall Maguire's rally was over before it even began, as the Monaghan man was forced to retire when a nut from one of the drives fell off his Subaru WRC on the way to the opening stage.
A very abrupt ending to your Ravensrock rally.
That's right, yeah. We're just driving out to the first stage this morning, and I was just going along the road in fourth gear, and the next thing I just went down, accelerated more power on the throttle, and the next thing I felt she just automatically started to slip, and I thought it was in the gearbox, and I changed down into second, and she was doing the same, so I pulled her in, and you know what I mean, I tried looking at the figures on the dash, and everything seemed grand, and tried her off again, she was still slipping. Called for the truck and the trailer to come out to lift her, and it was the nut on the drive going on the wheels at 50 cent was fell off.
A very frustrating exit to this event, and you leave Waterford with no points.
Yes, leave Waterford no points. Probably I'll have to use this now as a drop score, but as I said there, when we put the nut on in the end on the side of the road there, like the car's ready to go, it's hard to believe, you know.
Ready to go at the start of stage one was James Belton, who was quickest on the opener in his Subaru S11, but the Welshman was soon lying second when a minor incident at a stage 2 chicane left him trailing Declan Boyle. Rye White got off to a decent start in his Mantoon-engined MG Rover. The Tipperary man was hovering in fourth place, ready to pounce on a podium position should James Stafford slip up in his Darien. With his horse racing business co-sponsoring the stage, horse trainer Owen Doyle was champing at the bit in the ex-Ray Breen Ford Focus WRC. But the Kilkenny man had been a while out of the saddle and could only manage 11th overall after the opening loop. 12 seconds ahead in 10th was another event co-sponsor, Eddie Power. The Waterford native led Class 15 in the Toyota Corolla. 9th after the opening loop were Sam Moffat and James O'Reilly. The Monaghan crew would have been better placed had it not been for a costly spin on stage 3, which left them third in Group N. Second in the production class were Eugene Megan and Jonathan Traynor, who held 7th overall. Josh Moffat had a much better loop than his older brother Sam. He held the Group N lead and 5th overall at the first service halt.
It's been a good day so far for you, Josh, and you lie ahead of your brother in the championship points.
Yeah, the day's going good for us so far. We have a nice wee lead at the minute, and hopefully we'll just keep it and keep pushing hard.
Unfortunately for you, Sam, we caught that action on stage 3. It was a bad spin.
Yeah, I was having a bit of fun, I suppose. It's on the handbrake and maybe I shouldn't have been, but no, enjoying ourselves. Dropped a bit of time, but we're happy enough. Josh going hard, so we've a bit of time to make back. It's in the joys of rallying.
With James Stafford leading the two-wheel drive machines in his Class 14 Darien, it was left to the Class 13 machines to battle it out for the best of the rest. And top of the class after the opening loop was defending champion Jonathan Pringle. 10 seconds behind Pringle after an overshoot on the second stage. Declan Gallagher finished the loop to hold second in Class 13 and 18th overall in the Toyota Starlet. Carrick onshore clubman James Coleman always relishes the Ravensrock Rally, and the event co-sponsor finished the opening loop holding 4th in Class 13 and 13th overall in the Sureway Forklifts Escort. Another regular on the rock over the years, Dungarvan's Paul Mulcahy drifted his famous orange Starlet around the opening loop in his usual sideways style. But after clipping a ditch on stage 2, there was a bit of work to be done on the car at service.
It's pretty clear. Panic station's on here, Paul.
A small bit of pressure on the we closed a ditch there on the second stage and a bit of a square right or something. I'd say the shot. There was a canister on the back axle holding for the shock, and that fell down, broke off, and was dragging on the road for the half of the second stage, and all the third stage there, and leaked out the oil. So the back right and shock was just not no need spring there for the last stage. So we lost a good heap of time with it. Now we were going good enough other than that. Now we were good run the first stage. So with two second hand shocks gone back into the back, so hopefully they won't be too bad now for the next loop.
Third in Class 13 and 12th overall after the opening loop were Kilkenny crew Alan and James Doherty. Second to James Stafford in Class 14 was UK crew Jay Stanley and Paul Williams, who held 15th overall in the escort. Third in Class 14 and 19th overall were Kerryman Charlie and Johnny Hicking, also in a Mark II. Leading Class 11F after 3 stages was Richard Cleary, who held 14th overall in the Honda Civic. Just 7 seconds behind and holding second in class and 17th overall were Jonathan O'Callaghan and Gavin Sheehan in the Peugeot 106. Kilkenny crew Enda O'Brien and John Butler led Class 11O while holding 20th overall in the Mark II Escort. Leading Class 12 after 3 stages and holding 16th overall in the Peugeot 306 was local crew Bill Fitzgerald and David Long. But leading the rally overall despite some intercom trouble on the opening stage was Declan Boyle.
How difficult was it to drive that opening stage with the intercom problems?
It was hard work. It was cutting in and out, and I could hear him in bits and pieces. And we just, he would put his hand over, and when he put his hand over, it meant that I had to really back off and nearly stop. And he was doing that early, so it was hairy. Now we had a couple of close ones, but thankfully the time wasn't too bad.
You're definitely on the pace with the WRCs, but a wrong tyre choice in that loop, you think?
Oh yeah, really. We ran a kind of a medium compound Kumo on the last couple of stages there, and they were a disaster. We picked the wrong tyre altogether. We should have ran harder, and we were losing a lot of grip. So we're going running a harder compound now this time, and we're hoping that'll make a bit of a difference.
Johnny, in a good overall position at the moment, leading the class?
Yeah, we had a great run out there this morning. Now caught a bit of dust from Eddie Power on the second stage, so it knocked us a wee bit back, but we're happy.
And no difficulties at all?
No big moments or anything. Now just nice clean run, and hopefully the weather will stay like this.
So it was the end of the road for Enda Sherry and Niall Maguire before stage 1 even started. A disappointing and frustrating trip back up the road to Monaghan for him. And the Donegal pairing of Declan and Brian Boyle, well, they charge on to take the lead of the rally and to try and take their 3rd victory of the season. See you in part 2.
The Dunlop National Rally Championship. Welcome back to Waterford for part 2 of the Ravens Rock Rally. Conditions had become more overcast and breezy as the spectators waited for the 2nd loop of 3 stages to get underway. Still running first on the road were James Stafford and Amy Ryan in the Darien. The Wexford crew clocked a quickest time, but it wasn't enough to lift them off 3rd place overall. There seemed to be no catching rally leaders Declan and Brian Boyle in the Subaru S12. The Donegal crew extended their lead to 20 seconds with 2 quickest times of their own. James Belton's quest to take the lead wasn't helped when he spun his S11 at a tight junction. Belton wasn't the only Welshman at the Ravens Rock Rally, which has always proved a popular destination for citizens of the Principality. Like this stag party, who were travelled over to watch some of their compatriots, including James Belton's son Ellis, who held 2nd in the historic class on his debut drive on Irish stages. Leading the class was fellow Welshman Darian Richards. In the junior class, Kevin Ease held 5th place in his Toyota Corolla. Leitrim's Darren O'Brien held 4th in the junior class in the Civic. 6 seconds ahead in 3rd were Conor Moore and Ella Ryan from Wexford. Just 1 second quicker to hold 2nd in the junior class was Kerry Crew, Rob Duggan and Mike Galvin, who were just 2 seconds behind class leaders Vincent McSweeney and Michael Kearney from Cork. Fellow Cork crew Jason Roycroft and Nicola O'Shea led Class 2 in their Civic EK4. While the Type R Civic of more Corkonians, Stephen Carey and Breda O'Driscoll led Class 3. In Class 4, the production class, Stephen Cullen and Seamus O'Grady had climbed to 3rd place. The Dubliners were 17th overall in the Subaru Impreza N10. The battle for the top spot in Group N was still raging between the Monaghan brothers, Sam and Josh Moffat, with older brother Sam holding 2nd in class and 6th overall for the moment. Josh and co-driver John Rowan had 20 seconds to spare as they held the Group N lead and 5th overall in the similar Mitsubishi Evo 9. Paul Rowley led Class 6 with American Sam Johnston navigating in the Honda Civic. Kilkenny crew Noel Coogan and Mick Cody topped Class 7 in their Peugeot 306. With Boyle and Belton battling for overall honours, horse trainer Owen Doyle was odds-on to take the Class 8 trophy. Lloyd Hutchinson and Willie Fitzpatrick led Class 9 in their Austin Mini, while Class 10 was led by husband and wife crew Victor and Susan Beamish in the Vauxhall Nova. Richard Cleary and Niamh Holland had climbed up to 12th overall as they continued to lead Class 11F. Leading Class 11R and holding 16th overall were Enda O'Brien and John Butler. In Class 12, Derry crew Eamon McGuigan and Michael Moran held 3rd place. Over 20 seconds ahead in 2nd place were Laois crew John Lynch and Luke McRedmond. But leading Class 12 and holding 14th overall on his home rally was Bill Fitzgerald. Cork's Johnny Curran and Mike Walsh held 4th in Class 13 and 19th overall. There was over a minute of a gap ahead to 3rd in Class 13, occupied by James Coleman and Liam Brennan, who held 11th overall as they showed off their escort with an unscheduled twirl at this junction. Almost doing likewise were Alan and Colin Doherty, who held 2nd in Class 13 and 10th overall in the Opel Corsa. Jonathan Pringle and Martin Byrne had to retire their escort with mechanical trouble on stage 5, which handed the Class 13 lead to Declan Gallagher and Ryan Moore. The Donegal crew held 8th overall in the Toyota Starlet. With James Stafford vying for overall honours, Jay Stanley and Paul Williams were in line for the Class 14 trophy. Leading Class 15 and holding 9th overall was local crew Eddie Power and Mark Wiley. Roy White and James O'Brien continued to lead Class 20 while holding 4th overall in the Rover. But as the loop came to an end, news filtered through of a tragedy that befell on stage 4, when local driver Paul Mulcahy lost his life in an accident. With a dark cloud cast over the event, the organisers cancelled the remainder of the rally as a mark of respect. Paul was a very popular driver with fans far and wide, and we can think of no better way to honour his memory than by leaving you now with just some of the action that has provided so much pleasure to so many people down through the years.
I skimmed across black water without once submerging onto the banks of an urban morning that hungers the first light much, much more than the mountains ever do. silently goes down with the ease of a dolphin and emerges unlearned and shaken. For she is the perfect creature and natural in every feature, and I am the geek with the alchemist's stone. For all of you must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, you found the very special. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget not among the snow, it's always been, and so it goes. To ponder his death and his life eternally. For all of you who must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, you find it very special man. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget me not among the snow, it's always been, and so it goes. To ponder his death and his life eternally. Bright blue rose outlives all those, 2,000 years and still it goes. To ponder his death and his life eternally.
On the Limit Sports would also like to commemorate another young Irish rally star that lost his life in 2013. Cavan's Paddy Kiernan was killed in a tragic road accident in July, and he is another huge loss to Irish motorsport. We extend our deepest sympathies to the families and friends of both Paddy Kiernan and Paul Mulcahy.